Absolutely nothing moved the way you'd expect. No workers in hard hats. No truck drivers. No foreman barking orders over a radio. Just hundreds of thousands of square feet of machinery operating in perfect, silent coordination. This is the Azure Terminal, and it just proved that humans are no longer the most efficient way to run a superpower. While the world debated self-driving cars, China quietly assembled an entire urban nervous system powered by AI. Here, automated Sentinel cranes move 20,000 containers every single day with millimeter precision. That's the equivalent of loading 140 fully packed cargo planes every 24 hours without a single human hand touching a joystick. But here's the kicker. They turn the lights off. Because the machines don't need light to see, productivity actually jumped by 30% the moment the humans were removed. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it's eerily perfect. If China can do this to a port, what happens when they do it to the streets where you live? When the lights go out, who or what is really in control? You step onto a bus in Neocean and your stomach drops. There is no driver, no safety operator, just a steering wheel turning itself through morning traffic while the city moves around it without missing a beat. This isn't a pilot program. This is a standard Tuesday in a city that operates 16,000 electric buses. China is systematically replacing human intuition with artificial intelligence across the entire network. But the real magic is invisible. The roads themselves have been redesigned to talk to the vehicles. Smart traffic lights don't use timers. They communicate directly with cars, adjusting in real time based on weather and emergency priority. The infrastructure is having a conversation you aren't part of, happening thousands of times per second. The system calculates where a traffic jam will form 12 minutes before it happens and reroutes the entire city before the bottleneck even exists. In your city, the system sees the jam and doesn't care. In Neocean, the system fixed the problem before you even felt the need to brake. If the machines have already solved the traffic, what else have they decided for you? Forget the dust and noise of a normal construction site. In China, silent sites are becoming the new standard. Imagine AI-controlled excavators digging and grading terrain without a single person in the cab, robotic bricklayers that work through the night without fatigue, and drone swarms that catch structural errors before a single beam is placed wrong. One Chinese firm used AI to optimize steel frameworks so efficiently they cut material waste by 40% and construction time by half. This is how China built over 50 mirror cities, entire urban developments with malls, towers, and parks that sit almost entirely empty. The world called it an economic blunder, but they missed the point. These cities weren't built for people. They were built for the machines. Every street has fiber optics woven into the pavement. Every road has sensor arrays embedded in the asphalt. The city's nervous system is already switched on and waiting. The infrastructure isn't waiting for humans to make it useful. The infrastructure is the point. What is being born inside a city that doesn't need residents to function? There is a factory in the dark sector that operates in total, suffocating darkness. Not because they're saving money on power, but because the machines running it don't have eyes. They don't need light, air conditioning, or bathroom breaks. They just need power and a purpose. China is building these lights-out factories faster than any nation on Earth. At one facility, 650 human workers were replaced by 60 robotic arms. The result? Production capacity exploded by 250%, while defect rates plummeted from 25% to less than 1%. Then there's the industrial giant TitanCon, Foxconn, which replaced 90,000 workers at a single plant with robots. These machines don't protest, they don't unionize, and they never call in sick. The goal in China isn't to find a balance between humans and robots. The goal is to eliminate the human variable entirely. If the factory has no workers, who owns the future of labor? Walk into one of the 100,000 unstaffed stores across China, grab what you need, and just leave. No wallet, no phone, no human interaction. The store already knows who you are. Cameras scan your face in under 300 milliseconds, matching your bone structure to a national database of 1.4 billion people. This isn't just about convenience. It's about behavioral harvesting. Every item you pick up, every second you hesitate in front of shelf, is tracked and cataloged by the city's AI brain. This financial data, over $80 trillion a year, flows directly into the same infrastructure running the transit and the energy grid. The city isn't just watching what you buy, it's predicting what you'll need next and positioning resources before you even feel the impulse. But it goes deeper. That camera at the checkout is the same one that decides if you're a high-value citizen. If the store knows your secrets, what does it tell the bank? Imagine applying for a loan and getting an answer in 3 seconds. Not 3 days, 3 seconds. That is the power of China's AI lending platforms, which process 500 million applications a year without a single human underwriter. It doesn't just look at your bank account. It looks at your entire life. It analyzes your spending, your social media, and even whether you pay your utility bills on time. It is more accurate than any human alive, with default rates below 1%. But there's a catch. This system pulls from your social credit. If your social circle gets flagged, your access to money tightens. The machine isn't just evaluating your finances, it's evaluating your loyalty. Bank branches are closing across China, replaced by AI kiosks that don't negotiate, don't empathize, and don't make exceptions. What happens when the judge decides you're a risk before you've even spent a cent? You step outside, and within 4 seconds, the city has logged your location and predicted where you're going next. China's Skynet and Sharp Eyes programs operate over 700 million cameras, one for every 2 people in the country. This is the most intelligent surveillance brain ever built. Authorities can locate any individual in a major city within 7 minutes flat. But finding people is easy. The AI is now doing predictive policing. It analyzes your movement, your purchases, and even your facial expressions to generate a risk score before a crime is even committed. If your behavior deviates from your daily routine, the system flags you. Officers are dispatched not because you did something, but because an algorithm decided you might. If the city can predict your crimes, does free will still exist? In certain provinces, the network operates at an intensity that can only be described as a digital containment system. Residents are tracked from the second they leave their homes. Checkpoints with facial recognition scanners are embedded throughout every street corner. Behavioral flags trigger automatic alerts that result in detention without a human officer ever making a judgment call. The machine decides, and the machine acts. The traffic camera helping your car navigate is the same one feeding your risk score to the central brain. The surveillance network isn't a separate layer. It is woven into the fabric of the city itself. Is a city still a home if every wall is an eye? Welcome to the smart hospital, where the doctor is a ghost. You walk in, scan your face, and your medical history pulls up instantly. An AI diagnostic system analyzes your symptoms and generates a diagnosis in minutes, not hours. In 2019, an AI system in a Chinese hospital diagnosed brain tumors with 97% accuracy. The best human doctors? They only hit 83%. The machine was more accurate than the doctor by 14 points. Robotic surgical systems now perform procedures with precision no human hand can replicate. Automated pharmacies dispense meds without a human touching a single bottle. If a machine can heal you better than a human, who do you trust with your life? Beneath the streets, something is happening that most people will never see. Sensors embedded in the road are measuring stress fractures in real time. Fiber optic cables woven into bridge supports are detecting microscopic shifts. Underground pipe networks monitor their own pressure and automatically reroute flow before a failure ever reaches the surface. The city is not waiting to break down. It is constantly diagnosing itself. China's state grid uses AI to balance energy load across entire provinces in milliseconds. When a component shows early signs of failure, the AI schedules maintenance before the fault becomes an outage. What happens to a city that never breaks down? Government services have followed the same path. In cities like Hangzhou, AI systems now process permit applications and handle citizen complaints without a civil servant touching the file. The city is filing its own paperwork, identifying its own problems, and requesting its own repairs. Alibaba's city brain sits at the center of all of it. It ingests data from traffic, energy, and healthcare, managing them as a single unified organism. It makes adjustments across the entire city in real time. A traditional city is reactive. China's smart cities are predictive. If the city can run the government, do we still need leaders? This is not a collection of smart systems. It is a single intelligence. The autonomous bus reroutes because the city brain detected a road sensor anomaly. The energy grid redistributes because the AI saw a factory spike coming 3 hours before it happened. The predictive policing system updates its models because the financial network flagged an unusual pattern. Every layer of urban life is running simultaneously, continuously, and with a precision that makes human administration look like guesswork. China didn't just build cities that don't need humans. They built cities that run better without them. We built the machines to serve us, so why does it feel like we're the ones being managed? The era of the human-run city is over. China has already flipped the switch on the future, and the machines aren't looking back. Are we looking at a utopia of perfect order, or a digital cage we can never leave? The future is being coded right now, and if you aren't paying attention, you're just a data point. Subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because we are the only ones tracking the tech that is rewriting human history. If you want to stay ahead of the algorithm, you need to be here. What part of this unmanned empire scares you the most? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started before the AI does it for us. Stay sharp, stay curious.